Hey guys, so I was sitting here contemplating, my own dumb decisions in life, and was wondering what other folks had done. What is one of the dumber reasons that you've ever picked up or bought a car for, aside from it was too good of a deal to pass up. So on accident here, I started collecting town cars, and these aren't even the first ones. This is two and three, and there was a Crown Vic in there somewhere. It all started with this one I bought in 2011 because I needed a daily. And I fell in love with these darn things, man. This one's got 275,000 miles. It just rolled over. It's like 275.5. And she's on her second interior, her second engine. The engine was my fault. I broke that. And then the interior, I just needed a driver's seat. Got a smoking deal on the entire interior for like $120. And it was primo. Put in like an '04 interior. And then it led to this one. There was a time in the middle where I had an Acura that taught me that having two cars at the same time is awesome, and it got wrecked and it got parted out. But then when I came across this thing for $3,300, 62,000 miles on it, 60,000, somewhere around there. It's pretty low, and you'll see it's a common core thing here for me. And I picked it up, and I fell in love with this generation too. The two-tone is what does it for me, right? Back this up. I don't know how messy it is inside, but it was real clean, low mileage. The story back behind it was a little old lady. Sounds like she gave it to her granddaughter or something. Granddaughter took out a car loan on it. Title loan out here is what they call them. And it got repoed, sat in the yard for a while. The guy I bought it from bought it at auction, and he was going to sell it to some guy in Yuma as a courier car to take folks back and forth to the hospital. That fell through. His wife apparently didn't like green cars, so she wouldn't drive it for her real estate business. She decided she liked driving a diesel Duramax instead. So I got it real cheap, and then I wound up getting all my money back and then some. I went down to a salvage yard and was getting parts for the brown car we were looking at, and they picked up my car with a forklift, and they carried it around back. And it wasn't too bad. I fixed most of the real ugly spots, but you see the damage back on that rear passenger door. You can see the scuffs and scrapes. That whole door was caved in. And after I got my check, I came out here with a 2x4, pried it in the door, and popped out 95% of that dent. It's still ugly. It ain't perfect. But when I got a check for a little over $6,000, I didn't care anymore. In fact, we jokingly call this car Mayweather because it's part of the money team. Because I bought a car and then it made me money and I got to keep the car. They were going to give me $1,000 for it, and at the time it had like maybe 70,000 miles on it. So she stayed. They totaled it out, and then I just had it re-inspected. And then that brown one was having an issue, and I thought I was going to lose the transmission, and it's my daily for work. So I started looking at transmission repair work, and it was going to be about $3,000 plus to have it done. And I decided I was too cheap for that. Took a $3,000 budget, and I found this thing on Copart. You know why I bought this car? Dumbest reason I have yet, as to date. Because it's got a sunroof. I was looking at town cars all over, and the sunroof was kind of the goofiest thing that I couldn't find, and I wanted to have in one of these cars. It was one of the options I was missing. Now, this one turns out to be an Ultimate. It had been pit maneuvered as a stolen recovery. Look at that back quarter panel. You see the ripple in it? I think the back side of this frame's got a little tweak in it. When I got it, this axle here, it was all bent to hell. Ended up replacing the axle, parts of the brakes, and the two lateral arms up top. The upper and lower seem to be all right. I'm going to replace them here this month just because. And threw on some new tires on the rims, tossed them up front, so I had my new up front. And drove it home from Portland down to Phoenix. Spent like, I think, 4 days fixing it. And got it running, took it to the car wash, and then cannonballed it home. But look at her, she's clean. There's stuff I've been dickering with, but it's little replaceable things. When I bought it, I happened to have all the bottom door panels because I had bought it for the green car, thinking I was going to get boned on that insurance deal. Oh, it's a sad little light. Let's just take that out of there. Anyhow, she needs a new front bumper. That's cool. I got one in the attic. You see these gray side panels? This was me messing with color combos and what I like and don't like before I invest in it. And I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do two-tone on this car. When I fix it up, it's going to get a little body work and then reshot. Let me take you on the inside and see why I bought it. This thing, also low mileage. It was like 63,000 miles when I got it. And keep in mind, this is an Ultimate. This thing is loaded to the gills, man. It's pretty dope. Get in here. Old man ready. There's actually a sock full of quarters in here, man, like 20 bucks on a quarter. It was awesome, especially using the car washes. Now keep in mind I got the door panel off because this has been an ongoing project, but on point here is just showing you how clean this sucker is. Steering wheel's not all jacked up. Got some clean upholstery. Usually this is all ripped and split, especially considering this is a 2004, man. The just sitting here parked, the window regulators have gone out, and that's why we're going through the door panels. But those are still cheap enough to replace. Those are one of the few things I recommend. Spend the extra couple bucks, buy them through AutoZone, and just have the warranty. You're gonna get used to replacing them on Panthers, especially the aftermarket ones. They're garbage. Now this quarter panel's a little tweak. Like I said, I'll pay a shop and they'll tell me how bad it is and how bad it isn't. But the car's so clean enough overall, the transmission, the engine, that, dude, it's worth it. In fact, let me pop around here. I don't have the battery in right now. I have it in. I don't have it plugged in. No reason to keep having to jump it and drain it. This one's not a road warrior at the moment. But check this out. I was showing this to a buddy the other day. You can actually still see through the power steering reservoir. He's joking, I've only seen that when it's new. This thing's, what, 21 years old now? You can still see through the windshield washer reservoir. It's not yellow. This was a Portland, Oregon car. And, you know, some little old man apparently putted it around. I've got his name and his info. You know, his ARP card was in the glove box. But just look how clean this is for a 21-year-old car. I haven't done much more than just hit it with the hose. There's been no detailing, no nothing goofy in here. But this is exactly why I bought it. These headlights, check it out. See how clean that is? That's the original headlight for this car. My green one had one go out, and while I was looking for ballast, I just swapped them out real quick. This is the beauty of having much of the same cars. But compare on the left, the old one from an 06, and on the right is a 2004. So this thing was clean enough that all the little blemishes and issues, they're not such a big deal. She is full of red flags though. She puts up a fight every time I want to work on her. I just put in a new fuel pump because it had been sitting, drained out all the fuel, got me a couple gallons of varnish. But anyhow, the sunroof is the dumbest reason I bought a specific car. What's the dumbest reason you bought a specific car, man? We'll talk to you later.